Hi Pile 1, so we're gonna do a short little reading today on what it would be like to what it would be like to date your celebrity crush. So let's find out. Pile 1, and a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. The January readings are just shorter because of my schedule. Pile 1. What would it be like to date your celebrity crush? Pile 1. Okay. We've got the 8 of Cups. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. This is funny. Although not surprising given the topic. We got the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. To date your celebrity crush, like surprise, surprise, would mean definitely getting some financial help and support. So whoever your celebrity crush is, they would be someone who would definitely try to win you over with buying you things. You know, if they were into you, they would be showering you or trying to impress you with their wealth, with their connections, with who they know. Yeah, and I feel like also you would be a big departure from who they usually date. With this 8 of Cups, you would be definitely a lot different. And I feel like people around them would be quite surprised that they would be dating you. And I think that's really in terms of the difference in status here, because I feel like compared to them, you're in this 5 of Pentacles, and this could be someone who comes from like a legacy. You know how some celebrities have a lot of family members who are also in the business, or they have a lot of connections. Like this person seems like they come from money. They may not necessarily come from a famous family, but they come from money. And so it really feels like a completely different world. I'm gonna get some more tarot for you. But, okay, I like this though, but whoever your celebrity crush is, they are someone who's very dedicated to their craft, and they're someone who is well known and well respected for what they do. And I feel like this is where you two would have some overlap, because they would see and recognize and appreciate in you that you are also someone who is hardworking, that you are also someone who is really passionate about something. And you may share the same passion, even if you're just a fan of it and not necessarily a creator. They would really, really like that, and you would probably find that they would show off a lot to you. But this would be someone who is, yeah, I don't feel like you're asking about like a reality TV star. Like I feel like you're asking about someone who is really dedicated to their craft and is talented. I'm kind of getting the energy of like a method actor, or someone who does like a lot of intense training, or someone who is like always in the studio, always on tour, always, you know, doing promotion, someone who is just really engaged, and also someone who's very out there in the public eye. This doesn't feel like a reclusive celebrity. Like Beyonce to me is a little bit reclusive because she's very private. This feels like more of a celebrity who is very engaged with their following, someone who does like the limelight, or they at least don't mind the limelight because they get to do what they love. Because it does feel like they genuinely enjoy what they do. This isn't someone who, you know, just puts up with it because it's a good paycheck or because they like the fame itself. Yeah, this person is a little bit wary though. They're a little bit guarded, and they're a little bit wary about, because to me, they don't want anyone who would distract them from their work. And so as long as you were supporting them in their hectic schedule, as long as you weren't asking them to slow down, it would work out. Because this person, I'll be honest, really wants to have their cake and eat it too. And I don't think this person is used to life or other people telling them no. They're just used to being a winner, to be quite honest. So they want the home and family life with the Ten of Pentacles, but they also would want to still tour all the time or still, you know, keep up their hectic schedule. They wouldn't want to compromise on that piece of it. So if you were wanting them to like slow down and retire early, just enjoy the money, you know, don't expect that from them, because they would not. They would not do that at all. Like, they don't care if they work themselves into the ground. This isn't someone who really takes care of their health. Now, I'm not saying they don't look good or they don't work out or anything like that, but in terms of like their mental health, you know, and like taking time, you know, to relax, it's just not them. That's just not, you know, they could be sick and they will still show up on set. They will still show up for the concert. They will still go to that interview, or like whatever it is that they do, they will still do it. Or if, you know, you're asking about a writer or something like that, they're not going to slow down. They're like, no, I got to work on this next novel. I'm not going to slow down. Yep. But at the same time, like if you were to date them, they would also support you in your endeavors. So like if you have your own dreams, like you want to be a musician or an actor, something that, you know, tends to be like a celebrity role, they would support that. They would also, I think though, with the Queen of Pentacles, really want you to take on, like if you had, this is all in the realm of imagination, right? But if you were to have children with this person, they would expect you to take on the bulk of the childcare, because they're just not home like that. They would expect you to keep the household running. Now, that may be you telling the staff what to do, but they would expect you to do that. They would expect you to host the dinner parties. You know, they would expect you to make sure the staff decorates the mansion for the holidays. Like, they would just expect you to keep everything running smoothly so they can be creative and go do what they do. And when they come home, they can kick their feet up, enjoy the slice of family life before they go back out on the road, or they go fly out to, you know, wherever the filming location is, or, you know, whatever it is that they do. That's just it. That would be the role they expect you to play. Okay. Yeah, with the Hierophant here, if you're asking about a male celebrity, they would definitely adhere to like traditional gender roles, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. Or whatever is appropriate to their culture, because you could be asking about, I don't know, like a K-pop star or something, someone who's from a different place than you are. I don't know, you may, whatever. Y'all are everywhere watching this, reading, right? But whatever is traditional to their culture, I should specify that. That's how they would be. Okay, pile 1, this was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. The easiest way to support the channel is to watch the ads. You can also tip now with the virtual tip jar. It's called SuperThanks. You don't have to, but it is appreciated. And I will see you all in my next one. Take care, pile 1. Hi, pile 2. So let's find out what it would be like to date your celebrity crush. So this reading is obviously just for fun. We're also going to do all uprights today, and a big thank you to my guides. Oh, really? 2 of Cups, okay. My guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. That was cool. We'll take it. We'll take it. It is like technically a love reading. What else was I gonna say? Oh, this reading is going to be shorter just because all my readings in January are shorter because of my schedule, so I do appreciate you all being supportive and understanding of that. All right, pile 2. What would it be like to date your celebrity crush. Pile 2. 10 of Wands. Oh, wow, 8 of Pentacles again. Okay, similar to pile 1, this person's a workaholic. They aren't you're not asking about a celebrity that just kicks their feet up or is retired or just kind of lives off of passive income at this point. Like, you are asking about someone who is actively involved in what they are, you know, in their career. They're not at a place where they're close to retiring. In fact, with the Knight of Pentacles, you may be asking about someone who is maybe closer to the start of their career, or they are maybe at a place in their career where they're trying something new. Maybe they're branching into something different. So this could be like an actor who is branching into music, or, you know, an actor who is starting to direct instead of, you know, being in front of the camera, something like that. Yes, so hopefully that can, you know, help you decide if you chose the right group or not. Now, with the 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, I do feel like this person is they are so immersed in their work that they are very oblivious to what other people are saying about them. So this is someone who, fame is just a byproduct for them. You know, like, fame is not the name of the game. This person doesn't really care about being famous. They just kind of accept that as part of the deal. Like, okay, if I want to do what I want to do, then I have to be famous. You know, people have to know my name. And so this person may sometimes like to hide behind their work. It kind of gives me the energy when I was watching the Johnny Depp trial. He kept saying, like, I don't go to my movie premieres. Like, I don't like to watch, you know, like, I don't like to see it. And so this person may literally finish a project and then start the next one immediately without stopping to read the review, see what the critics are saying, see what the fans think. This person just, I think, has a lot of artistic integrity. Now, what does that mean in terms of you dating them? This person may also replicate that in your relationship. So, sorry to break your heart a little bit, but you will always be secondary to this person's work. Like, if you were to date them, you would always come second, because their first love is always going to be the music or their writing or, like, whatever it is that they do. That's their first love. You will always be secondary to their creativity. And again, I do think this person has some aspect of creativity in what they do for their work. So again, similar to pile 1, this doesn't feel like a reality TV star who's just famous for being famous. You know, it's not that energy. This person does create something. It's not just their personality or their charisma that makes them famous. They do something creative or something artistic. Yeah, something, they create some sort of product or some sort of something that people enjoy, something that people consume. So yes, I feel like you would always be secondary. Yeah, and it's not from a place of them not valuing you or not, because with the 2 of Cups, there would be love there. There would be love there, but it kind of, it's that, okay, this is the dynamic, because I'm trying to make this clear. It's not from a place of devaluing you, but it's just that they are so absorbed in what they are creating, and they put so much pressure on themselves to do better than what they did before, that they get lost in their work and the rest of the world kind of falls away, including you. And I think if you brought that to their attention, they would then try to appease you with this Knight of Pentacles. They would try to make up for it by just buying you something, to be honest. You're like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry, you're right. What you would ask for is like quality time. Like, I just want to spend time with you. And time is the only thing that this person is not willing to give. And so, like, if this celebrity is single or has been divorced a lot, this is why. Because they just won't give up their time. Like, their time is so precious to them because their time is their work. And so they would give you everything else. They would give you the world. They would buy you whatever you wanted. But they would not give you their time. They would tell you sweet words, you know, words of affirmation. They would, yeah, just buy you anything, but they would not give you their time. And so I feel like you would be really unhappy with that. Yeah, I feel like that would just break your heart a little bit. Yeah, the Page of Cups. Like, this person, it's not that they are emotionally immature or emotionally unaware, but it's just they give so much of themselves to their work that it is a bit draining for them. And their work may be part of how they heal. Like, even if you're asking about a comedian, one of Freud's defense mechanisms was sublimation in like psychodynamic theory. And an example of that is a man telling a joke about something that was hurtful instead of crying, because for a man to cry publicly, at least in America, that is like socially unacceptable, right? Like, men aren't supposed to cry, whatever. But to tell a joke, that's something that society rewards, right? Like, to be funny is a good thing. And so even if you're asking about a comedian, like, for them to be writing those jokes, they're reflecting upon things that in the past were like hurtful or that would make them want to cry, but they turn it into a joke and they monetize it, right? So yeah, I feel like that their work is part of their healing process. And so that in and of itself is quite draining, and they just don't have that much to give you at the end of the day, you know? And it's not that they're emotionally incapable of it. And I think that also, it's like their work may be sometimes a bit dark, you know, even if they're telling jokes, they could be joking about things that otherwise are like dark, but they themselves, like, you wouldn't guess that. They have a more playful, funny, lighthearted attitude. Like, they don't take anything seriously. Yeah, I feel like they hide this aspect to themselves because they feel that it is like it's just undesirable, you know? And I feel like they don't see the way that they're hurting themselves. And I feel like if they were to slow down and they were to enjoy the fullness of life and not be so obsessive about their work, it would actually liberate them. It would free them. But I don't, to be honest, don't even think that you or any relationship would be able to dissuade them from that. It's like they're bound by a lot of illusions, you know? They keep searching for this thing that's going to fulfill them within their work. They think like, oh, you know, if I get this level of success or satisfaction with my work, then I'll be happy. But it's like all these different work projects never seem to really fulfill them in the way that they're expecting. What would fulfill them would be like a healthy, happy, romantic connection. I think family life, home life would give them a lot of stability because they seem like they're in their head a lot. They seem like they're a bit of an anxious person. They kind of like those stereotypes of a tortured artist. That's kind of how they come through. And yeah, I feel like it's kind of a shame that they themselves are the only thing that would be blocking their happiness. And I think that if you were to date them, you would probably try to get them to understand this, but I don't think that any relationship would be able to achieve that because this is where they're at. They're like happy in this bubble of creativity and they just don't want to branch out of it. And I think it probably comes from a fear of being hurt, a fear of a lack of control, because you don't have that much control in a romantic partnership, right? Like, you can't control another person. And so I feel like this person is just really scared about investing their heart into something that isn't tangible. You know, their work is tangible. They get tangible rewards from it. Whereas a romantic partnership, you don't get a tangible reward and there's no guarantee. And I feel like a lack of a guarantee makes this person quite anxious. So, pile 2. This was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Hi, pile 3. So let's find out what it would be like to date your celebrity crush. So this reading was suggested by a subscriber, so a huge thank you to them. This is going to be a shorter reading just because in January all my readings are going to be shorter. My schedule is really hectic, so I appreciate your patience. We're going to do all uprights today. And a huge thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Pile 3, what would it be like to date your celebrity crush? Let's find out. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. We've got the World here. Okay, a lot of messages right off the bat with these cards. It would definitely be a situation where it would develop slowly and more slowly than what you would want. Like, you would of course be like head over heels with them, and they would be very reserved, very guarded. You know, I think that makes sense as a celebrity. Like, you would have to be very careful and very judicious about who you let in your inner circle and who you trust. I think it's, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's pros and cons to dating like a non-famous person versus another famous person. But yeah, I feel like they would be very careful about it. You know, they would definitely like keep working a lot. They may even use work to distract themselves from their feelings about you. But yeah, it would be very slow. Like, I feel like with the Knight of Wands, you would be like, yes, let's go. You know, like, I'm so excited. Like, this person is, I think this person would be everything that you hoped them to be, actually. Like, pile 2 had a little bit of a disappointing energy, I think. But with you, I think this person would be just as amazing, at least in the beginning, as you would hope them to be. Like, I don't feel like they would disappoint you or be a letdown or anything like that. And I also feel like there's someone who travels a lot for their job, or you're asking about a celebrity who's from a different country than you. So this could be like a musician who tours a lot, or, you know, a celebrity who has to do like a promotional tour to promote, you know, like a book tour if you're asking about a famous author or something like that. But they do have to travel for their job, or again, they just live far away from you. And I feel like you would be like ready to go on the road with them, ready to travel, ready to move to be with them. And yeah, you would just be like head over heels for this person, and they would just be taking it slow. And I think that would frustrate you a little bit. Yeah, with the World card too, like, again, I feel like they would be everything that you would hope them to be. Like, I don't feel like this person would be a letdown at all, but they would keep you at arm's length in the beginning because they've got some trust issues. With the Queen of Cups, it's very sweet. Like, eventually they would come to see you as someone who was trustworthy, but in the beginning, no. With the Star, like, they would literally be a wish come true. I also feel like you would become quite famous just being associated with them. So you may be asking about a really huge celebrity, Or you would be the type of couple that everyone pays attention to. So maybe you're asking about someone who's been single for a long time, or someone who's never been married, but someone whose love life is a lot of, who's someone whose love life has a lot of speculation around it. You know, like everyone is very involved in like Taylor Swift's love life, and they're wondering when she's gonna marry. Or George Clooney would be another one, like when is George Clooney gonna get married? And then I think her name is Amal. She's like I think she's a lawyer or something like that, and everyone was talking about their relationship, and then, you know, her face became famous just like him, you know, by association. So it could be a situation like that, where if you were to date this person, your relationship would be all over the gossip, you know, I don't know. Do people read gossip magazines anymore? I don't know. Your face would be on the cover of People. You know, everyone would be gossiping about this. You may be a couple that has like one of those, what are they called, like ship names, you know? Yeah, something like that. And then they could also make you famous as well for something that you like to do. That message came out in another group too. I can't remember which one. Maybe it was pile 1, but if you have something that sorry, if you have something maybe creative or like a product or something like that, they could make you famous as well. So like they could make you a famous musician, they could connect you with the right people, or they could get your novel published, you know, whatever it is, if that message resonates. With the Ace of Swords, I feel like you would just, you two like would see eye to eye. Like you two, like once they finally like opened up to you, communication and talking and like quality conversation, sharing the same sense of humor, you two would just have the best rapport and so much emotional understanding between the two of you. With the Solitude card here, I feel like this is kind of indicating like them letting you into their bubble, like them letting you into their inner circle. It's like at first there was a shield around them, and then they let that wall come down. So yeah, over time they would let you in. And so like their friends would become your friends, their family would be really welcoming towards you, but it would just take a lot of time. The Sun, yeah, I think things would actually work out really well between you two if you were together in real life. That's so cute. Yeah, like the Knight here and them like letting the sun come in, like them opening themselves up to your warmth. I feel like they just see you as a very sweet and good person, and that would really just win them over. The fact that you would be very genuine and authentic towards them, and I feel like they live or operate in a space where there's not a lot of authenticity, right? In the world of celebrity, everything is very highly constructed, and so you would be like a breath of fresh air. Yeah, the King of Cups, like now we have a match, right? The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. So I definitely feel like you two would be a match made in heaven. Like you two would definitely be very compatible people, but also that you would allow this side of themselves to come out. Because I feel like they have to repress the softer side to themselves to kind of survive in the industry that they work in. And so to be able to just let go and, you know, just be at ease and not have to worry so much about how is what I'm saying or what I'm doing being interpreted by like millions of people, like it would feel very liberating to spend time with you and to feel so accepted. And I think that they would, it's like you would be very infatuated with them in the beginning, and that would make them very nervous. But then as they got to know you and they opened up to you, and they would like show you kind of their more like raw human side to themselves, not their like charming, charismatic, lovable side, but just to see them as a fellow human being and that veneer of celebrity like crumbling away, and to see that you would still love them and accept them and not think any differently of them would just warm their heart. Like this cat, like, he just looks so emotional. It's just so cute and sweet. The Lovers. Oh my gosh, like, maybe you do belong with this person. Yeah, I feel like Spirit's like, I would co-sign this relationship if it ever happened in real life. I would. Yeah, like, some of you may, like, really, I feel like some of you may really seriously, emotionally resonate with this person's work, like, whatever it is that they do. You may just feel spiritually like it speaks to you on a soul level, and that could be why we're getting such a good vibe, you know, throughout this reading. But yeah, I feel like if you two were ever to get together, it would definitely have to be like some sort of crazy epic like love story, because obviously like the chances of you meeting this celebrity and actually getting to spend time with them would be very slim. And so I feel like Spirit is saying this would be like a love story that you could write a novel about, because it would just be like this crazy epic romance, you know? And with the Lovers here, the way it's depicted, I think it also kind of indicates that idea that a lot of eyes would be on you. It would be, you know, because not all celebrities have their love lives like plastered all over the place, right? Like, it's not like every celebrity has a magnifying glass on them. So again, like, you could be asking about someone who is incredibly famous, or someone whose love life is just tends to be a topic of conversation and speculation. And so this again like confirms that idea that a lot of eyes would be on you, and you would be famous by association, and everyone would be wanting to know more about you. And yeah, I think that pretty much concludes all the messages. I also feel like with the King of Cups, you know, he's just sitting on his own little island here. And so like to meet someone else like you, see, she's on the shoreline here, but he's like on his own little island. So like you would be calling this person almost back home. Like there's something about you, I think, that would remind them of a simpler time, you know, before all the fame. You know what it kind of reminds me of? I'll say this before we end your reading. If you listen to rappers, especially like Drake, Nicki Minaj does this too, where, I mean, Drake stays reminiscing in general, but in a lot of his songs, he like romanticizes the come up. Like, he romanticizes the journey. And I think that happens a lot of times, like, we want to get somewhere, we want to get somewhere, we want to get somewhere. And he probably never expected to blow up the way that he did, right? But now he is this major celebrity. Everyone knows who Drake is, regardless of whether you listen to his music or not, or you can name a single song. Like, you're probably familiar at least with his name, right? And so, you know, I think that it's like, okay, I'm here, I finally made it, and then, you know, I've consumed all of this excess of like women and money and luxury and all this stuff. And I think he even has a lyric that says like, when was the first time you felt something for the first time? When was this something you, when was the last time you did something for the first time? I swear that's a lyric that he has. Yeah, like, nothing's new anymore. Like, I'm in this place of like extreme wealth now. I have all of these privileges that I didn't have before, and everything, the world is at my fingertips. You know, everyone says yes to me. I think that can create a little bit of boredom, to be honest. I would imagine after a certain point in time, it's like, what is there to strive for once you have achieved everything? You know, and I think he looks back on it now and he probably misses that time, or romanticizes that time of struggle, you know, of being on the precipice of something big but not being there yet, and that hunger. And I think that sometimes that is a detriment to the work, to the creative process, because, you know, how do my fans relate to my music now when I'm so different from them? Whereas before, I was just like the everyday person, like with my dreams and my hopes and my wishes, and now my day-to-day life looks nothing like the average person's. Like, how do I relate to my fan base now? And maybe missing that aspect of creativity as well. And so to bring it back to your reading here, it reminded me of that, of like, you would represent a simpler time. You would now be something new to strive for. You would represent a return to, I think, when they were more naive, because I think there is an aspect of the celebrity machine and overall like entertainment industry that I imagine would strip someone of their innocence and their naivete, like something that would make someone a bit more jaded, because we were picking up that guarded energy in the beginning, right? And you almost having to strip away these layers of protection that the King of Cups, your celebrity, has built up over time. And so you would like be like this like little sailboat like coming out. And so yeah, I feel like you would, I feel like this person would have a lot of emotional resonance with your energy, and something about your energy would remind them of a feeling of home. Okay, that was a very cool message. All right, pile 3, this was your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, there's a truck going down the road. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. The easiest way to support the channel is to watch the ads. You can also tip now with the virtual tip jar called SuperThanks, or you can donate on Venmo. You don't have to, obviously, but it is appreciated. A huge thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel thus far. It means the world to me, and I will see you all in my next one. Take care.